And yes, if you were wondering why ducks have feathers, it's because they're covering their butt quacks. All right. Now that we got that out of the way, I want to just briefly go back to when Clay talked about um, passive income and property management and basically on passive income, some of the responses, a lot of the responses that I got that were repeating themselves was about not having to put much effort or work into earning your passive income. And that could be a misconception. Um, I would say on the front end for sure, when you're starting, whether it's real estate or some type of business that leads to passive income, usually on the front end of that business, it requires quite a bit of work. In Clay's case, um, developing the properties. He said, sometimes you can get someone to manage the properties, throughout the years, but if you're the one in charge of that, that will require quite a bit of your work. But a couple years down the road, if you got someone to manage your property too, and you got money coming in, then absolutely the effort or work put into it at that point will be a lot less. But I just want to make that clear that this isn't just easy free money. It's still requiring your time. But as I said, and as Clay said, down the road it could be a stream of money that could come into you in addition to what your other job is. Anyway, today's topic. We got to be grown-ups about the topic because it is very important. But we're going to talk about bowel movements. We're going number 1 and number 2. Okay. So the reason why they're important is because when we do those things, it's getting rid of waste. It's getting rid of toxins from our body. If we're not doing those things, the things that our bodies do not need are staying inside of our bodies. Okay. Not only are they not helping, but they're actually doing bad to our bodies. Okay. So that's why they're so important. So a couple things. Ways to stimulate bowel movement. Okay, you can do this by exercising. Okay, when you exercise, it moves blood through the abdomen, which stimulates bowel movement. Water, and actually caffeine more so than water, will stimulate bowel movement. And probably one of the most effective ways is to eat a diet that's high in fiber. Kids that had me in wellness first semester would know that the great way to tell if a food has fiber in it is if it has skin on it, okay, which is basically any vegetable and any fruit, okay, like the skin of an apple, the skin on beans, okay. If a fruit or a vegetable or any food has skin on it, it's more than likely got fiber in it, okay. So those are ways to stimulate bowel movement. What does our waist tell us? Okay, if you're going number 2 and your number 2 is hard, that means that your diet is lower in fiber. Okay, and if it's the opposite, that means that your diet is high in fiber. Okay, so and looking at your number 1, if it is a bright yellow, that means that you are probably lacking water consumption. Okay, and if it's clear, then you've done a good job that day of consuming water. Okay, so what we do tells us a lot about what's going on inside of our body and what we're putting in our bodies too. Okay, and one last thing, the way that our toilets are made, it's not ideal for doing our business. Okay, so one thing that can help having bowel movements that are gonna be best suited for our bodies is to sit upright, okay, and to bring your feet closer to your seat. And actually, some foreign countries have like a stool or something that's elevated below your feet. Okay, so if your feet are slightly raised, that'll actually help with bowel movements too. Okay, I understand this is a kind of a goofy topic to talk about first thing in the morning with me telling you about it, but it's actually very important. Okay, so there you go. We're talking about two great things, number one and number two. But hopefully you guys have a great. What is it today? Jesus, Tuesday. Holy buckets. Hope you guys have a great Tuesday. By the way, I just got some new glasses here for my birthday, and I'm loving them. They're blue light glasses. My vision's actually pretty dang good, but I like the look of them, and I stare at screens a lot during the day, so this was a great purchase. All right, see you guys.